All right, here we go. Question number 17 from our 13-16 homework number 8 in MyLab Math. It says find the direction angles of the given vector. Write the vector in terms of its magnitude and direction like so. And so the first thing that I want to do is to recopy this vector over here in my workspace. Vector v, that is 6i minus 9j minus 2k. And then making a note that A is 6, B is negative 9, C is negative 2. And then I've got my formulas here to calculate the direction angles alpha, beta, and gamma. Now notice each one of these is going to have the cosine brought over to isolate it. So if I go ahead and apply that first formula so that we can calculate alpha, that is going to be the inverse cosine of A, which is 6, divided by, and if you recognize that as the magnitude, good job. That's divided by the magnitude of the vector. 6 squared plus negative 9 squared plus negative 2 squared. And so we need to calculate the inverse cosine of all of that stuff. And we're going to use the handy dandy calculator. In degree mode, that's going to be the inverse cosine of 6 over the square root of 6 squared plus negative 9 squared plus negative 2 squared. Remember that negative numbers have to go in parentheses, and don't forget to move out to the side and close the parenthesis for the inverse cosine. Rounded to the nearest tenth of a degree, that's going to be 56.9 degrees. And let's go ahead and input that into MyLab Math and see how we did. Yay. All right, now for beta, if I could scroll up a little bit, that's going to be the inverse cosine of the value of b, which is negative 9, all over the square root of 6 squared plus negative 9 squared plus negative 2 squared. Now, if you notice, that denominator is going to be the same every time. If you want to go ahead and calculate just the denominator to make your life easier, you can do that. I think I'm going to do that because I'm going to need the magnitude anyway. So let's go ahead and see what that denominator is all by itself. Let's see, square root of 6 squared plus negative 9 squared plus negative 2 squared. And the denominator, oh, that's nice. It's a whole number, 11. And so this should be the inverse cosine of negative 9 over 11. In order to give me the angle of beta, rounded to the nearest tenth would be 144.9 degrees. And again, we're going to input that into MyLab Math to see how we did. And for gamma, we're going to have the inverse cosine of, this time gamma says c, which is negative 2. Now, do you remember that square root worked out to be 11 as a whole number? And then we can pull up, again, the calculator and do the inverse cosine of negative 9 over 11. Whoa, 140. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going, why is that the same as the last answer? It's because I put 9 instead of 2. Good grief. I've been working too long. How about negative 2 over 11? There we go. To the nearest tenth, 0.5 degrees. And let's see how we did. Now, for the vector, and this would be in polar form, the magnitude is the denominator that we've been calculating, which is 11. And then we're going to input each angle. Now, if you got all of these right, you should not miss this. 56.9, 144.9, and last but not least, and we're done. Man, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those in the comment section below, or you can text me. And thanks for watching.